Good morning, everyone. I'm higher vibrations, and so are you. And these are the Ascension Symptoms for the weekend of the 15th, 16th of January, 2022. There's been a lot of really unpleasant inner turmoil kind of Ascension Symptoms the past little bit, which has caused alarm for a lot of people, and it's been harder to understand it as an Ascension Symptom. For me as well. I've been thinking that it's me, and that I'm going through this thing. However, it's pretty obvious, that because we are all going through this mass dark night of the soul kind of experience right now, there's going to be this pushback and this level of irritation and discomfort within our emotional experience, right? So this basically feels like some type of really intense irritability / PMS. For the female audience out there, you know what I'm talking about. And extreme, profound exhaustion. Like everyone that I've talked to, those who don't even really seem to understand what's going on, right, are all talking about how tired they are, how exhausted they are. And I'm just being in the moment and being called to let myself rest as much as I can. If you can, rest up. Sometimes we have such busy lives, right? We have a lot going on, and I know this. And sometimes those rest moments, those rest periods are only a moment. They're just close your eyes just for a moment to center yourself. You don't need to be asleep to rest. A lot of times, going into a brief place of meditation for a few minutes is more rejuvenating and energizing than anything else you can do. So high irritation, profound exhaustion, the ringing of the ears has not stopped. It's changed in frequency and fluctuation and consistency, as well as persistence, I guess. In some cases it's constant. In other cases it's in and out intermittently. And then the vibration stuff that we're feeling in our body through not just our core and our sacral chakra space, the place that we create, right? But also within our extremities, our hands and our feet, our fingers and our toes, the palms and soles of our feet and the palms of our hands. And then also the ear stuff. So around your sinus area, down into your ear, this stuff is popping and fluctuating and vibrating in some cases. And things are moving in and up and out. When I was asking these questions and my response that I got, I had Mother Mary and Archangel Michael, and the response is it's like this sifter thing, and we're being shaken. A threshing table is what it really is. Yeah, it's the threshing table. So we have this, it's like a screen and around this frame, and you just shake this stuff out. So all the dust and debris and things that just don't belong make their way out, right? And that's what's happening right now. And it's when we're being agitated, when we're being shooken up, it's uncomfortable. And, we get so used to being in that space of comfort and that space of just knowing your moments, and it causes us to, I guess, rest on our laurels, to become overly comfortable. Just like I was taught a lot of beautiful stories and legends and understandings of the way that things are and were through some of the Native American spiritual stuff that my grandfather taught me. And one of the things was the story of the mosquito. The mosquito came because the buffalo were praying. They were praying to God, asking, pleading for more grass because they were starving. Where they lived, they were running out of food. They depleted their resources. And instead of doing what they thought was going to be given them, God gave them the mosquito. And when they were bit, they were uncomfortable. But they realized that when they were moving, they would not be attacked by these little insects that were just pests, right? And it caused them to migrate and to flee that space to where there was more grass. And the place that they came to each time that they moved was better than the time before. Yeah, no one wants to get bit by a mosquito, but we are still being encouraged to move in order to get to the next thing that we need to do for ourselves. Not everything can be done for you, because this is a universe of free will, and this is a place that we make those choices. So you're going to be finding that your diet is going to change. All of a sudden, you're going through periods of unplanned fasting where you just don't feel like eating. And it's not because you're ill or that there's anything really wrong. It's just, you just don't really feel like it. You know, I've gone for several weeks of just tea or even juices or whatever. Just be sure that you're drinking your water. And if you really truly do feel hungry, then you should eat. If you don't truly feel hungry, then you shouldn't, I suppose, right? Because we're listening to our bodies right now. Please keep into consideration the health of your body. You know, if you have something like diabetes or something that requires that extra understanding and awareness of what you're doing, just be safe about it. I'm not giving any kind of medical advice. This is just what my experience is, and that's what's working for me. So increase your water intake. That listening to our body is the biggest thing right now. There's so many of us who have spent so much of our life not listening to our bodies, and that's now amping up. Our bodies are now shouting to us, do this next. So we're getting weird cravings. Our diets have changed. Again, like many of you have already heard me say, I went from a carnivore diet to an almost vegan diet. And I'm not suggesting that that's something that you do. It's simply what happened with me as I listened to my body one thing at a time. A lot of other stuff that's going on are these weird, cold, hot flashes that we're having, like changing, fluctuating body temperatures, weird sweats when you're not really hot, difficulty sleeping, but as well as extreme exhaustion, you know, just so tired. And then when it's finally time to rest, you're not. Or perhaps you rest really deeply at night and then wake feeling exhausted as if you hadn't gone to sleep at all. We are doing a lot of work in the astral plane. In that place that we go to sleep, in that dreamtime space, it's not a place of rest any longer. Or I don't know if it fully had been before, but it's definitely not as much, even more so now. Some other stuff that we're really going through is, you know, apart from that irritation and agitation, these amazing, beautiful moments of euphoria, you know, or just all of a sudden everything is in alignment and okay. We are getting closer and closer to this higher dimensional space, and we get to touch it sometimes, you know, and more every day. Some other stuff that's going on is this weird vibration sounds. We're hearing things outside ourselves. It sounds like the earth is vibrating and even thumping in some occasions. I'm noticing myself picking up earthquakes that are not even near to my continent that I'm on. And I'm actually experiencing an earthquake. And then I look at the earthquake site and, yeah, they just had one in Chile. And, you know, stuff like that. As well as, you know, the cool and weird stuff about electronics not working or lights flickering and things like that in my presence. That's something that's pretty common for a lot of people too right now. As well as other visual things, the light orbs. We're seeing people are starting to pick up, finally. It's so cool and beautiful. We're seeing auras, and we're seeing things that maybe you didn't see before. Don't be alarmed by that. These are energy. We are energy. And we're starting to get to see those things as we clear out this gunk in this threshing table experience that we're going through right now. Something that's really important to note is that there's a lot of people right now that are understanding and awakening. And as they're doing it, they're beautifully trying to present and help by presenting their story. Please remember, this is something that's coming through that I need to say, is that please consider the source and listen to the message if it resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate, then don't pick up on it. Much of what I've told you already, maybe some of it didn't resonate with you. Maybe most of it didn't. Take what feels correct to you and leave the rest. We are an experience of like the buffet table of the spiritual world. It's not that they're bad. These people, these false prophets, I guess, are bad. It's simply that they're they're not fully understanding what's happening at this point. Are their messages coming in with love, or is it with embodying? Was it with fear? Is it with urgency and warning? That kind of stuff, the sensationalization of this, oh no, draws us away from the love. And Source, God, the All, is the most purest, most perfect form of love. Anything farther away from love pulls us farther away from that. The opposite of love is fear. If it brings fear to you, then send love to it, whatever it is. If it is of love, it will answer back. If it is not of love, it will flee. As well as messages and frequencies and everything that comes through for us in this experience. And it's beautiful. There's a lot of weird skin stuff going on right now, the weird itching, tingling sensations. It almost feels like perhaps you have a sunburn in some cases, or also deep healing, where we get that deep scar tissue healing, that itchy sensation that's occurring as it's like new cell growth is occurring. New DNA is upgrading. The dizziness has come and gone for me. Not as much, it's not been as frequent as before, but it's still there. The dizziness and the all of a sudden disorientation of like, wait, where am I? Like, what am I doing? Like, who am I? Almost, like, because we get from my experience, I believe strongly that it's because we are experiencing so many different frequencies at the same time that when we come back to a lower dimensional space, it's easy to kind of forget what we're doing and why we're here. Why are you here? You're here to play, because what you are supposed to do is so natural to you that to you it feels like play. Helping other people, for me, in my different ways. I'm not a very social individual. I really am not very good in large groups and things like that. But I am somebody who is inclined and drawn to help others in a way that they don't know that I've helped them. Because that's me, and that's how I've always been. And to me, I do that. I am in this place of giddy love. I get intrinsic value from that. That's my personal experience. Also, when I dance, dancing and being in music, that feels like play to me. That is so much fun for me. And while I dance, while I get lost in the music, I'm drawing in the light. I'm drawing in the higher frequency energies to this space and assisting all those around me in the widening circumference of the space that I'm in the physical place. And those are just my experiences. But as we do those things, as we do whatever it is, as we create, as we allow ourselves to do what it is, to take care of ourselves, then we are also taking care of the other. We are also helping all. And we are bringing this energy and this light to this space that we're in now. You've got this. I'm sorry I didn't go into as many Ascension Symptoms as I had intended. A few messages came through that I needed to say. Remember that right now we're at this place where it's like a gate that is opening, and we are the ushers of this grand theater experience. The gates are opening and the crowds are rushing in. Crowds that didn't know they were on the outside the whole time are now flooding in with excitement and wonder and awe and not sure what's going on. We are the ushers to guide them to the place where it is. It's that simple. We are the banks of the river. We are not the water itself. We will guide the water where it is to go. However, there's free will. And the water will still flow over the top of the bank and off and do its thing and create a pond somewhere And in that pond, another thing that's supposed to happen will happen. It is not ours to decide what is to happen. It is simply to allow yourself to be in this space and time, if that makes any sense. Thank you so much for your service. I know right now it's not easy at all. This level of frustration, this level of impatience and irritability and just when we're not accustomed to feeling this way, it's not fun. But know that all of us are experiencing that. And knowing that for me, knowing that a lot of us are going through the same thing, makes it okay. It's not something to worry that something bad is happening with me. I'm turning into something I don't want to be. It's simply we're experiencing this change. And with change, there's always a moment of discomfort. However, much more better it is in that higher place. We know what our pain felt like. We know what it felt like to have days that sucked. We knew what every moment was going to be like. There was no surprise. And now we're going to this place where we don't know. And so it feels sickening in some ways. It feels like orientation in school for the first time. It's okay. You got this. We are just in a new level of class. And you're not alone. Reach out. Please comment. Comment on others' comments. And please feel free to send me an email anytime. We are here together as one. We are brothers and sisters. And we know what to do. I am sending you so much love. I hope you're having a lovely journey. Aho blessings.